Rama
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 Hare
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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama
Hare
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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Ram
Ram Hare Ram
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 Hare
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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama
Hare
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 Jai Goranitai 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 Jai Goranitai Jaya
Jaya
Gauranitai
Gauranitai
Jaya Gauranitai
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 Jaya
Jaya
Gauranitai
Gauranitai
Goranitai 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 Jaya Goranitai Jaya
Jaya Gauranitai
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 Gauranitai Gauranitai
Gauranitai
Jaya
Jaya
Gauranitai
Gauranitai
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya
Jaya
Jaya Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Jaya Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya
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 Guru
Guru
Deva
Deva
Jaya Guru
Guru
Deva
Deva
Guru
Guru
Deva
Deva
Jaya
Jaya
Guru
Guru
Deva
Deva
Jaya Guru Haribo
Haribo
Haribo Jaya Guru Haribo
Nitai
Nitai
Gaura
Gaura Hari
Hari
Bol
Bol Hari
Hari Bol
Bol Hari Bol Nitai
Nitai
Gaura
Gaura
Hari
Hari
Bol
Bol
Ranga Haribo 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 Tagora Haribo
Nitai
Nitai
Gaura
Gaura
Hari
Hari Bol
Bol Hari
Hari Bol
Bol Hari
Hari
Bol
Bol
Nitai Gaura
Nitai
Hari
Gaura Hari Bol
Jai Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari
Hari Bol
Alright, so now we will all chant together. We can bring our beads out so that we can start chanting.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Nityananda Prabhu, is someone blocking your camera? There is something around you which is not very clear. Some black shade is coming. Is something blocking your camera?
Wondering if something is blocking the camera.
Usually it's not like that.
Yeah. It's what's happening is the camera on these Chinese computers are lower, you know. Let me lift that up.
Yeah, now it's better.
That
Much
makes
better.
it better, right? Yeah,
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu.
you're welcome. Take it away a little bit so I'm more in the center. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. All right, so let's all start chanting together. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda,
And
Veda
Sri Advaita Gadadhara
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Hare Ram
Hare, Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Rama
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare
Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So today we're going to continue with chapter 9, except that today I'll speak from some of the verses directly by quoting the verse and also sometimes just giving the translation. But to start, let's all pray together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Dati Swa Padantikam Vanchakalpa
Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa
Sindhubhya Eva
Sindhubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Srimate Bhakti
Bhaktivedanta
Swami
Swami
Nityananda
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachari
Nirvisheshan
Yasasanyamani Bhaskatyate Satari
Jai Sri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Ananda
Prabhu Nityananda
Sri Advaita
Advaita Gadadhara
Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Rama Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatharupa Ki Jai.
Jai.
Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. So thank you very much, everybody. So this time, again, this chapter is entitled The Most Confidential Knowledge. And Krishna starts the chapter by saying, this is the translation, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of existence." So,
I'm sorry, please go ahead.
Sorry? Okay, so basically, go ahead. Someone saying something.
Please go ahead, Prabhuji.
Okay, so
Thanks.
basically, when Krishna is speaking here that this is the most confidential knowledge, one of the things he's saying is that we have to be non-envious of him, anasuyave, meaning that we should never be envious of Krishna. Because sometimes we think, why Krishna? Why not other demigods also? I really like this person or that person, or whatever it is. Why not them? Why all Krishna? Like this. Actually shows that from our side, we are becoming a little envious of Krishna. Why should Krishna have all this attention, like that? But the fact remains that Krishna is the only one in creation that can remove all miseries and give all perfection. Others can remove some miseries and give some perfection. It's a little like, if to live a full life, you needed $1 billion, then if you get $1 million, you can do some things. It's a lot of money, you can do some things. But you can't do everything that $1 billion could have done or $1 trillion could have done like that. So this is Krishna. He can actually do everything. So he's starting to make Arjuna understand why he's so important, because Arjuna also is the son of Pandu and actually came from Indradev. Indradev is the king of the demigods. So he already has very nice affection for Lord Indra. Krishna himself describes in the Bhagavatam, he likes to be known as Indra Krishna, like that. So Indra is very important. And then he got so many of the nice weapons from Lord Shiva, like that. Different personalities, you know. He got so many things from the fire, from the sun god. He got so many things like that. So obviously he has some attachment to these people. And so here Krishna is trying to make him understand that's fine, but they're all contained within my bhakti. If you do my bhakti, then just like if you take care of the root of a tree, then the branches, the leaves all get taken care of. By feeding the stomach, the rest of the body all gets the food. So this is why Krishna is promoting this, and he actually says that in different places. But here he's saying, I take care of all the miseries. Then this second verse is very important. It says, Rajavidya Rajam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyakshavagamam Dharmayan Susukham Kartum Avyayam. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge. And because it gives direct perception of self realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed, like that. So here, Krishna is having us understand. I'm sorry, I'm using the light because the writing is a little less prominent on this Bhagavad Gita that I've got. And the lighting in the office is not that good. It shows up better on the computer, but not so much in the office. So, here Krishna is saying that this is the king of education, and here this knowledge is the purest of all knowledge. So when we're dealing with others, it's not purest. With Krishna, it is purest because he is the supreme pure. He is the origin of all purity, therefore nobody can be as pure as Krishna in anything, whether it's wealth, he's purely the wealthiest, like that. If it is power, he's purely the most powerful. If it's beauty, he's purely the most beautiful. So like that, this is what we're talking about. And because this knowledge, what it'll do is give you direct perception of the self by realization. So you'll understand yourself also directly, who you are in the spiritual world. This knowledge will actually provide that. Whereas with the demigods and other great persons, you can get benefit from that, but that doesn't give you direct perception of the self. So this is very important. And not only that, it is going to be joyfully performed. With everybody else, it may or may not be too joyful. But this one, Krishna will always be joyfully performed. It's done. Everything that we do is joyfully performed like that. And you remember the first three verses we said, Krishna is describing why this knowledge is most confidential, and that it is most confidential, and that it is going to illuminate the true position and nature of the soul in relation to God. Nature of the soul is spoken. The soul is amazing. Now the relationship is most amazing. The Sanatana Dharma is most amazing. So here, this is in the first three verses. This is what Krishna is saying. So those who are not faithful to this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. So that's another reason we want to worship Krishna, because then we get full benefit of leaving this place and going to that place in the spiritual world where we can do amazing things. Just like we can see Krishna can do amazing things, they're all living entities can do amazing things. Krishna gives that power to everybody. And that's why he says, once you go there, you never come back, because you realize there's no comparison. It's a little like there is no comparison between having a few dollars in your pocket to having a few $1 trillion in your pocket. You know, of course, you can't fit a few trillion in the pocket, but to have access to a few dollars cannot be compared to an access to a few $1 trillion like that. And the difference here is much larger than that between this world and the spiritual world. So this is Krishna encouraging, and this is why it's called the most confidential knowledge. And then in verse 4 it says, by me in my unmanifest form, the entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Meaning that Krishna is larger than all beings inside of it. All the demigods, everything that you know in creation, whether it's in the material world or spiritual world, is inside Krishna. But Krishna is not inside them because he's larger than them. So he's like the superset, and the whole creation is like a subset of Krishna. So why not contact the superset? Because when you contact the superset, you're able to go past the subset like that. It's a little like, let's just think of $1 trillion as a superset and $1 million as a subset. If you go past $1 million, then you're getting to the $1 trillion. If you stay inside the $1 million, then you're hardly getting towards the $1 trillion. You see what I'm saying? If you just stay inside it. So this is Krishna, just in his unmanifest form, he is so big. What about in his manifest form? He's even bigger like that in his manifest form. Because his manifest form is the cause of his unmanifest form. He describes that in the Bhagavad Gita. So then he says, this is a little mystical, you know. He says, and yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I'm everywhere, I'm not part of the cosmic manifestation. For myself is the very source of creation. So he's now showing his mystic opulence, and this is why the relationship will become inconceivable. And then he says in the next verse, understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere rests always in the sky, all created beings rest in me. Just like the wind rests in the sky. So everything and everyone rests in Krishna like that. So obviously the sky is bigger than the wind. Then he says in the next verse, verse number 7, he says, oh, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. Now, this is very important. Why? Because sometimes, you know, we really feel attracted to the demigods. Here, Krishna is saying at the end of the millennium, which means at the end of the day of Brahma, which lasts 1,000 times the 4 cycles, 1,000 cycles of the 4 yugas. He breathes in, Krishna breathes in at that, Brahma creates the night, and everything becomes unmanifest. Even the demigods become unmanifest. We all become unmanifest. And then again, in the day, we come out again from the unmanifest to the manifest. Now, this is one set of going in and going out that happens. And then Krishna himself breathes in as Lord Vishnu breathes out one time, and then a whole Brahma's life happens in that breath out. And he breathes in, even Brahma goes back into his body. Everything goes into his body. And that one breath of Krishna is 311 trillion years, little over 311 trillion years, whereas one day of Brahma is 8,640,000,000 years, and the same for the night. Half of that is the day and half of that is the night. So we can see if all the living is going to go right back in the night to nothing, be unmanifest, whereas Krishna continues to be manifest. He says that in the Bhagavad Gita. I continue, even those things are going back and forth. He says, I remain manifest. Nothing happens to me at that time. He says, the whole cosmic order is under my order. Under my will, it is automatically manifest again and again. And under my will, it is annihilated in the end. O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. It doesn't bind him. This going in and going out doesn't bind him. So this is why, we do that. And also, if you think about it, if you like a certain part of the tree, so you say we like the demigods a lot, then watering gives nourishment to all the branches, the leaves, the fruits, the flowers. Everyone gets nourishment. So the demigods, when we serve Krishna, they become happiest actually. Now, how do you prove that? What is the proof? The proof is that, say, for example, somebody really wants to worship demigods. I really am not going to be interested in anybody else. For me, it's just whoever. Like for me at one time, it was like that. It's only Lord Shiva, thank you very much. I'm not interested in anybody else. You can try to convince me I'm not interested. But the good thing is, if you read the Vedas, there are different parts that relate with the different demigods. If you read their work, like I read the Shiv Puran, in the Shiv Puran, it is said that one should pray to Lord Shiva like this: I am a fool, I don't know much, I am a sinner. But oh Lord, you are Trikal Jnani, you are the best of the best. Please bless me that I may one day please you in this lifetime, that I will ultimately please you in this lifetime. So we pray like that. So when you pray like that, then Lord Shiva will give you Krishna, because he knows the best is Krishna. Just like we say, Hare Krishna, may you have the best. So Lord Shiva knows that. He also says Hare Krishna all the time. In fact, when he's sitting and he's chanting, you might see him on a leopard skin or something sitting, and then he's got his stick in his hand on the stick, and is rolling the beads. What is he chanting? He's chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra there. You see. So, okay. So there's a message that came up, but it went away good. So basically, this is the proof that you're really going to please the demigods by actually praying to them like that. And so that shows that we're actually best off with Krishna. Because if I pray to Lord Indra and I ask him, please, Lord Indra, I'm such a fool, I'm such a rascal, I'm a sinner, I don't know much, but you are such a great person, you're Trikal Gyani, you please bless me that one day I please you. Then what he will do is he'll give you Krishna, because that will please him. Because he also wants the $1 trillion. It's like we're running after the best, he's also running after the best because he's also a jiva. He's an exalted jiva. We're not so exalted like that. So he also wants that. So he knows if he gives us Krishna, then Krishna will become very happy with him, and then his life will be far more glorious than it was before that. So then Krishna says, this material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. This is a very important verse. Maya takshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena konteya jagat viparivartate. This material nature, which is one of my energies, and he has so many energies, by the way, is working under my control. And we're all in this material nature. This is one of his energies. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. So under his direction, all moving and non-moving beings are actually being produced. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So when he says, Mag Dakshina Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam, he's saying that this whole material nature is controlled by him in every minute way possible. Just like, outside the house, there's some blades of grass. They're not so important. Yeah, grass is important, but no one blade we think is very important. If someone said, how much will you pay me for a blade of grass? You will not pay anything for a blade of grass. You can find a blade of grass free of charge so many places like that. But even that insignificant blade of grass, which is not insignificant because it's a living entity, does not move without the will of Krishna. It is the flute, the sound of the flute that creates, it brings out the waves of love of Krishna that allows that thing to move as well. So you can see how Krishna is controlling everything minutely, whereas each of the demigods not controlling everything. They are, by the way, 33 million demigods, and each of these demigods, demigoddesses, 33 million, each of them controls one department of Krishna's administrative system in the world. So there are 33 million bosses who control the whole world like that. And the chief amongst them is Durga. She is the boss of them all like that. And sometimes it's described, Lord Indra is the king of them all. Sometimes it's described that Lord Brahma controls them all. Sometimes it's said Lord Shiva is the Maheshwara like that. But for different things, they're different bosses like that. The whole material world, the boss is Maya Devi. Maya Devi is none other than Durga. So she can even fool Lord Indra. Even Lord Brahma at one time was affected by Maya Devi like that. So she's such a powerful person. And she's the mother of Lakshmi and Saraswati. So you can see that she's a very, very powerful person like that. So then he says, this is another very important avajananti mam mudha mam shim tanum ashitam param bhava majananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all that be. So when people don't know that, that's, we actually are described as foolish by Krishna. Because, if we had known that, then so much greater things would have happened in our lives. Just like if we had $1 trillion, so much greater things could have happened in our life. But foolishly, we decided, I'll be satisfied with $1 million, and we didn't really do the things that allowed us to get the $1 trillion. Then, then when we can't do certain things with $1 million, we feel frustrated. Then we blame others and we blame God, and all these types of things happen. But if we actually become Krishna's devotees, you'll blame nobody, because Krishna can give you anything and everything. And he will. It's just a matter of us having that type of love and faith in him. So then he says, those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. So we can see this is why there's so much defeat going on in this world. So then, a very nice verse again that we should know by heart. Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakritim ashitaha vajantananya manaso gyatva bhutadim avyayam osanapita. Those who are not deluded, the great souls, they're called the Mahatmas, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. So this is what every devotee should become, a Mahatma like that, because then we actually will please Krishna a lot. He becomes very happy to meet. Mahatmas means great Atmas. So he's a great person himself. And then here comes this very, very famous verse, Satatam kirtayantu mam yadantascha driddhavata namashyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. This is a very good verse that goes with that verse which says, Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, iti shodashaka kali kalmashu nasha, nata uparatarapaya, sarva vedeshu vishati. That this 16-worded mantra will destroy all the evil and bad things of Kali Yuga. And Nata uparatapaya, there's no process better than this. Sarva vedeshu vishati. This is being spoken by all scriptures. All scriptures say the same thing. So what to speak of Krishna? You know, we sometimes offer obeisances to devotees and we say, Vancha kalpa turbhischa kripa sandhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So he's saying that, you know, that the Vaishnavas are like desire trees and they can fulfill desires of everyone. There is no better well-wisher than the Vaishnava. You know, we're saying we offer respectful obeisances unto the Vaishnava devotees, Lord, who are just like desire trees, and they can fulfill the desires of everyone, for they're full of compassion for all conditioned souls like that. So this is the devotees, compassion for all fallen souls, and can fulfill anyone's desire. Because if a devotee desires something, Krishna promises, my devotee will never fail. Name bhakta pranashati, Krishna says. Konter tu padijanihi, name bhakta pranashati. So then he will fulfill the desire of the Vaishnava. So we have to become Vaishnavas like that. So this is what he's saying. How do you become Vaishnava? Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, Tridavrata, like that. Bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion, like that. This is a Mahatma, real Mahatma. Can't rubber stamp people Mahatma unless they do that. Then he says, others who engage in sacrifice by cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. So some people do that. So then he says that, but it is I who am the ritual, the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, and the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. So he says, it is I who am that. Even though they don't accept me, they accept me indirectly, but it is I who is the, you know, when you're doing the offering in the fire sacrifice, I am the offering. I am the mantra. You know, when you say Om, I am the mantra. Krishna says it's Krishna who is the Om, you know, and that he is the ritual in the sacrifice and the offering to the ancestors and the healing herb. You know, we said 3 things can solve problems in this world: Mani, mantra, and Oshadi. Oshadi is the healing herb. It's like Sanjeevani is an example. So it's Krishna is the Sanjeevani. So then he says, I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grand sire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, Sam, and Yajur Vedas. So we can see, you know, all of these. He doesn't say about the Atharva Veda, because the Atharva Veda actually proves that Krishna is the supreme person. That's the purpose of the Atharva Veda. So it actually proves Krishna is the supreme person, and all the other Vedas is actually Krishna himself, like that. And then he says, I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and annihilation, the basis of everything, and the resting place and the eternal seed. So we can see this is Krishna. This is why, you know, sometimes people wonder why we always talk about Krishna. Krishna is the whole, the 100% whole, like that. So instead of going for a few percentage, sometimes we say it better in another way. Instead of going for a few pieces of gold, why not go for the full gold mine? Get the whole gold mine. you have the whole gold mine, you'll have unlimited amount of gold. That's what a gold mine will have, generally speaking, compared to how much you will need. No matter how many generations in the future will be there, they'll all be taken care of from that one gold mine. So we can see that this is why Krishna calls this the most confidential knowledge. Now we're really understanding the power of Krishna, the attraction of Krishna. Then he says, Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I'm also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. So all of these things are inside Krishna. And then he says, those who study the Vedas and drink the soma juice, because that's what they do in the Swarga, you know, they like to drink soma juice a lot. Seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the heavenly planets of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. So ultimately they're going to go there and enjoy godly delights, right? But these godly delights, who is the god there? Indra is the god, you know, like that. And these gods themselves are looking to become Krishna's devotees. These gods, by the way, it is said that the demigods are praying to Krishna, please allow us to take birth on planet Earth in the womb of a devotee, in the family of devotees, so that we can do your bhakti and come to the spiritual world, because what's happening in Swarga cannot be compared to what's happening in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, far more than what is happening in Swarga is happening. Swarga is compared to be, in fact, they say that when you compare because, you know, sometimes beauty is considered by how beautiful a girl is, you know. So if you take a beautiful girl in Swarga, the most beautiful Apsara in Swarga, and you compare her to a beautiful girl any girl, not just beautiful girl, but any girl in the spiritual world, and this is not just Krishna Loka, anywhere in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha Lokas, anywhere. This girl, in Hindi, there's a saying, will look like a chusa hua am. The Apsara will look like a chusa hua am. You know how when you have a ripe mango and you suck all the juice out of the mango, it becomes shriveled up. So the Apsara, the most beautiful Apsara, compared to any girl in the spiritual world, will look like a shriveled up mango compared to the beautiful girl in Swarga. And this comparison can be made with anything, whether it's beauty, wealth, anything else, that comparison can be made. So Krishna is saying that these people, they want to drink soma juice, and they want to enjoy godly delight. So they go there. And what happens after they finish their piety, they have to come back here. So they keep bouncing back and forth. That's why it's called samsara chakra. It's a chakra. It keeps going around and round and round like that. And so then he says in verse number 21, that when they have enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasures and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to the mortal planet again. So back here again. It's considered a little immortal there because one day in the planet of the demigods is like our 6 months. And so they live for like that 10,000 years. So that's a very long time. That's 10,000 multiplied by 180 for us. Like, what would that be? Like 1.8 million years is one lifetime in Swarga. That's how long they live in Swarga. So after that, they come back again here. You know, go back to the same cycle. You come back in Kali Yuga, it's only 100 years per cycle. So then he says that, thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the 3 Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. That's all they're doing. They're getting in this chakra and they keep going round and round in circles. And by the way, sometimes they do sinful things, so they have to go to hell as well. So it's like a big Ferris wheel, you know. Sometimes you're in hell, sometimes you're in the middle planet, sometimes you're in heaven. Come back middle planets, go back to hell. You know, so it's like, this is the type of thing that's happening. Why? What's the value of that? You know, chakra means, you know, you'll get a chakra, right? All you'll be happening is that, you know, your mind will be reeling. So then comes another very famous verse, Ananyas chintayanto mam, ye jana paripasati, tesham nitya vyuktanam, yoga shimam vahamyaham. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion. So in the heart, we can do that, exclusive devotion. Meditating on my transcendental form of Krishna, transcendental form like that. To them, I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So you can see Krishna is saying, I'll carry what they lack, because we all lack something. So he'll carry that, meaning it won't be an issue as far as going back to the spiritual. And whatever you have, he'll preserve it. Whatever you do, whatever little I'm able to do, he'll preserve that. So this is an amazing statement. Where do you get a guarantee like that? Nobody else can do that for us. The demigods cannot preserve our credit. They can only allow us to get the value of the credit, some value, but they can't preserve it. Whereas Krishna can preserve it, which means you'll always get the value. It's a little like, imagine you had $1 and it was a dollar that's preserved by Krishna. Then no matter how many times you spend it, you're still left with $1. So now you can buy anything, right? If something is worth $5 million, you can still buy it because you can put $1 down, still have $1, put another $1 down, still have $1, put another $1 down, keep doing it until you have 5 million times you've done it. You put $5 million down, you still have $1 anyway. So this is the value of Krishna consciousness. So then he says, this is a very famous verse as well. Ye apyanya devata bhakta yajante Shraddha vyante kritaha te api mam eva konteya yajantya vidi purvakam. But those who are devotees of other gods and worship them with faith actually worship me only. Why? Because they have to go to Krishna to get the credit. So whatever credit you've earned from that demigod, they have to go to Krishna anyway. So indirectly you're still going to Krishna. But he says, O son of Kunti, they do it in the wrong way. They're doing so in the wrong way. They could have come directly to Krishna and got the benefit very easily, but instead they worked very hard to please the demigods, because the demigods are not easy to please. They have very strong requirements. You have to follow strictly, do this, do that, a lot of rituals. So not easy to please the demigods. And after you please them, they go to Krishna and say, what do you think we should give him? Krishna? And Krishna says, why don't you give him this? Yeah, I'll give you this, you can give it to him. Then they give it. So, you really slowed the process down. You could have done it much faster, going directly to Krishna and gotten far more, because what you got from Krishna would have been preserved, meaning it would have been eternal. You got from the demigods, you got it, you spent it, gone. Now you have to go in again. Just like we do every day, right? We go to work, we earn money, spend it, go back to work again. But imagine, you could go to work, you earn the money, that money never goes away from you. You don't have to go back to work again. How much better that would be. So then Krishna says that I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. So we fall back into a bad situation again every so often. And that's what's happening right now. So because Krishna is the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices, even if you worship the demigods, the master is still, Yogeshwara is still Krishna. Yogeshwara is still Krishna. He is the only Yogeshwara, the only Yogeshwara. For all yogas, it is Krishna who is the ultimate receiver of it. You're just going through others indirectly to get to him, that's all. And because you don't want to go directly to him, the others will go directly to him and you will get some share. They're not going to give you everything, they're going to take their commission as well. Why shouldn't they? They work for you, they're not your servants. You are their servants. So again, that's not a very good reason to go there indirectly also. Why get part of your rewards when you could have got all your rewards, and that too multiplied any number of times? So then this is a very famous statement as well. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pritri vrataha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti mam yunopi mam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors, Pitriloka, like that. Those who worship the ghosts and spirits will go to take birth among such beings in Bhutlok. And those who worship me will live with me. So this is the benefit. All these others will sooner or later come to Krishna anyway, and we'll just go there, waste our time, and then come back again. This is why when somebody becomes a devotee of Krishna, the Pitrilok celebrate, because the definition is given in the Vedas that if someone becomes a devotee and they follow the process, then 30 generations will also benefit from that one person. 30 generations. Can you imagine? That's a lot of people. You take a number and say, in your life, you have 2 children. Even if you have 1 child, that's 3 of you, right? So in the next generation, that child is going to have a wife and then have children. So, it multiplies. Then they're going to have children, wives, this, that, and the other. It multiplies. By the time you hit 30 generations, you're talking about literally billions of people. You see? So you can imagine this very powerful system. Just one person becoming devotee. That's why in India, they used to be saying it one time. Every family, every kutumba should give one person to Krishna, like that. Now, of course, we become too miserly. We think that in every kutumba, let's send one person to America. He will become rich, and then the whole kutumba will benefit. But actually, there's no comparison to, the becoming a devotee. The good thing is, of course, a lot of us came to America and then became devotees here. That's good. This actually good thing about America is that there are many devotees here, and they're reaching out to others and helping them become devotees. Who didn't become devotee in India became devotee in America. That's actually very valuable. But actually, that's not why we came. Most of us, except for a few of us, most of us came to make money. Some of us came so that we can do service for Hare Krishna and then get paid. Very rarely anybody came to Hare Krishna not to get paid. They didn't want to come to America, but they were told, you have to come to America because there's service here, and we want you to do the service here. So then, the very, very famous verse that comes in this is this verse here. Patram pushpam phalam tuyam yome bhakti prayachiti tadham bhakti artam asnami priyatatmanaha. This is a very famous verse. Krishna says, if one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Can you imagine that? Just a leaf, a flower, a fruit, little water, Krishna accepts it. All that has to be done is you offer it with love and devotion, that's all. That's your permanent credit by doing that. How wonderful this system is. So this is Krishna, guaranteeing us this understanding of confidential knowledge. Then he says, another very important statement, Yat karoshi yad yasi, yad jehoshi dadasi yat, yat tapasya se konteya tat kurushva arpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Because when you do it as an offering to Krishna, it becomes our permanent credit. Now, what does it mean, offering to Krishna? You don't have to actually give it to Krishna. That's not what he's saying. He's saying, understand that it all belongs to Krishna. And so we should use it in a way that will please Krishna, including take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your dog, take care of your cat. That's fine. Nothing wrong. At the same time, understand it's all Krishna's and we're taking care of them because all these persons are Krishna's devotees. They're all Krishna's children. So we're taking care of them because it pleases Krishna. So we do everything for only one reason, which is what chapter 3 says. The only reason is to please Krishna. Then it becomes an offering to Krishna. Everything you do becomes an offering to Krishna. That's what it means. It doesn't mean you just throw it or give it away to Krishna and at some temple put it there and then now you don't have anything. It doesn't work like that. That's the false understanding of renunciation. We're not into that type of renunciation. And then he says that in this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. But even if you get good results, sooner or later you're going to do something and therefore you're going to suffer the bad consequences. While you're doing something good, some bad things will be done as well. And then if you're earning money, somebody might be being cheated, so again some bad thing happen. Or you're going to be walking on the street or walking on that in your office and all these living entities come under your feet, get crushed, and get killed. You're going to breathe in and all the germs that go in because the heat is so much in the stomach will get burnt. So you'll be killing all of them. So while you're doing so many good things, so many bad things are happening too. That doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? That's not how to do things. So it says here, this way you'll be freed from that bondage. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. So fixed in liberation, meaning concept of always tying everything to Krishna. And telling him, Krishna, just understand, I'm doing for you. Now, you may not be doing everything for Krishna. In fact, you may be doing it not for Krishna. But don't worry about that. Sooner or later, Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. You'll see that in the 10th chapter. Krishna will give the intelligence how to do it properly. In the meantime, he'll accept it. Just like, say, for example, imagine the purpose of life was that we should become a brain surgeon. So, when the child is born, the mother or the father or the brother or the sister or friends don't come to the child and say, 1 month gone, why are you not brain surgeon yet? What's wrong? You still not studied anything yet? They don't do that. They give the child time. You got to give the child time. It takes 35 to 38 to 40 years to become a brain surgeon. So you got to give that child that time. So Krishna wants to give us time too. To become brain surgeon is a small thing. To become Krishna's devotee is such a great thing. So it takes lifetimes, Krishna says. So he knows things are going to move slowly. That's okay. But at least start the process by thinking like that. Because then the feeling will come, then the willing will come, and finally the action will come. So this is what Krishna is saying. Use this process. Not very hard. It's simple, and it gives the most powerful results. Even as you think, Krishna says in Kali Yuga, there's a special dispensation. Just like in other yugas, you have to do something to get the result. In Kali Yuga, Krishna says, if you just think it, I'll give you the result. Fortunately, he says, but if you think bad things, I will not give bad results. But good things, he will give the results. Bad things, you have to do it to get the result. But the problem is when you think bad, sooner or later you're going to do something bad. That's why you shouldn't think bad either. But at least you're going to get away with thinking bad. But by thinking good, you're going to get amazing results. Amazing, amazing results. So why not think that I'm only trying to please Krishna, only want to please Krishna. That is very powerful Krishna consciousness. So then he says in the next verse that I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend in him, and I am also a friend to him. So this is Krishna saying that he loves all of his children, but because some children want to deal with him personally, obviously in those personal dealings, they're going to get more results. You see? Say, for example, I have a brother, the two of us, and imagine my father is the richest man in the world. Both of us are his children, and so both of us are going to be taken care of nicely. But if my brother spends more time with the father and massages his feet and actually asks him, what can I do so that you'll be happy? And how can I do things so that you'll be happier? Obviously, the brother is going to do greater in his life because he has a better understanding of how to do things. It's clearer to him. I may be confused, but he won't be confused. So this is why we should become devotees. But then the confusion goes away. The doubts get answered. We know how to be a really nice devotee. And most importantly, we can guide others so that they can become great devotees, because that's going to give them the best benefits in life. And that's what we want everybody to have, the best benefits. We're not interested that anybody be shortchanged or get less, nothing like that. And then the next verse, very important verse, Apichet Sadracharo, Bhajanti Mam Ananyabhat, Bhajate Mam Ananyabhat, Sadhur Eve Mantavyaha, Samyak Visto Hitsaha. Now, this verse is a very important verse. There's a very nice story behind this verse. And that is that, by the way, the translation of this verse is, even if one commits the most abominable action, if he's engaged in devotional service to me, he is to be considered saintly because he's properly situated in his determination, even if you commit the most abominable sin. So one time what was happening was in Brahmaloka, which is the highest planet in the material world. Brahma was giving a class on Bhagavad Gita, on this very verse, chapter 9, text 30. And the sages were sitting in front of him, all very amazingly bright people, the best of the best, sadhus and yogis like that. So they were sitting in front of him listening to class. And when they listen to class, there's pin drop silence. But when they feel like, doesn't sound like the explanation given is very good, they start murmuring to one another. So while he was speaking, Lord Brahma was speaking, they started murmuring. So Brahma realized, I'm not explaining this verse properly. How is it that someone who commits the most abominable action is still considered to be a sadhu if they are properly situated in their determination in Krishna consciousness like that, in their determination? So how is it that the person is still a sadhu? How can you say that? The person does so many bad things. How can that person be a sadhu like that? So Brahma was explaining why the person is still a sadhu and people are not accepting. So then what happened is Brahma realized, I have to actually let somebody else, because obviously my explanation is not working. So he asked Lord Shiva to come and sit and explain this. So Lord Shiva sat in the class. And then Lord Shiva explained it. And still there was some murmuring going on. So Lord Shiva realized that's not cutting it. What I'm saying is not cutting it either. So the two of them had a discussion and they felt, Lord Shiva said, I think I know the person. In fact, I'm confident I know the person who can answer this. So he came to planet Earth and he took Bhakti Vinod Thakur with him to Swarga. So that Bhakti Vinod Thakur can sit on the Vyasasana and give a class on 9:30, on chapter 9, text 30, this very famous verse. And after Bhakti Vinod Thakur spoke, everyone, pin drop silence. They totally accepted what he said. And even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva were amazed that his explanation was so lucid and clear like that. So this tells us, where chapter 9, text 30 is, where chapter 9 is. It's powerful, It's not easy to understand chapter 9, financial knowledge. But who can understand it? A person whose heart is completely clear. Now, what would we say about Brahma? Why we say his heart is not completely clear is because there's a little bit of passion in it. Mode of passion. Mode of passion brings about misery. Mode of goodness brings about, happiness and peace. And mode of ignorance brings about some madness and instability like that. Which is why Lord Shiva sometimes when he gets angry, his anger can go out of control, like that. Because he's the Lord of mode of ignorance. Although he's the Lord of it, it still affects him a little bit. Like that. So, but here, this devotee, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, had gone beyond the modes. He came to Shuddha Sattva because that was his devotion. He had so much love for Krishna that his consciousness rose to Shuddha Sattva, pure devotion, pure mode of goodness. Mode of goodness has two parts to it. Mode of goodness itself will give you peace and happiness, but also make you impersonalist. Whereas Shuddha Sattva will give you peace and happiness and make you a personalist, which means having a personal relationship with Krishna, which in the earlier verse is said, some have a closer relationship with me, so obviously they get a little more attention from me. A little bit means a lot more. For Krishna, a little means a lot for us. Like that. So, sorry, this one part doesn't sit in my ear as well, so I keep trying to adjust it. But let me put it back so it does sit. Hopefully it will sit. Okay, so why is it that most abominables? The answer is given that if we are determined, who is determined? Satatam kirtayantu mam yatantascha dridhavrataha. Dridhavrata means full determination. So if a sadhu is always chanting the glories of Krishna, always engrossed in chanting glories, even if he commits a very bad sin, what happens is because he's always engaged in that, the holy name will purify him, you see. So it's little like this. Who is considered clean? They're said to be 2 out of 3 people who are considered clean. Now, there are 3 people, by the way. In this world, there are 3 people. One who has not showered yet. So, been playing outside, rolling in the dust, and not clean. Another person who's in the shower, and the third person who finished taking the shower. So, of these who are clean, Lord Krishna says, the last 2. The one who is clean, obviously, because he's took the shower is clean, but the one who's in the shower should also be considered to be clean. And that's who he's talking about here. You should consider the person to be very soon. The person is going to be out of the shower and they'll be completely clean. What a wonderful explanation, right? So this is why this verse is being spoken. But the idea is, be in the shower. Keep cleaning yourself. Keep cleaning myself like that. Keep at it. Don't actually give up on the cleansing process. So then in the next verse, Krishna says, he quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace, O son of Kunti. Declare boldly that my devotee never perishes. This is a way beyond famous statement. Chipram bhavati dharmatma shashvaj shantim nikachati konteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. That such a person who stays in the process, and that's all we're saying here. Please stay in the process. Don't get distracted by this, that, and the other. Don't get distracted and leave the shower. Stay in the shower. You're going to get clean. If you leave the shower, you're not going to be clean. You finish the shower, you come out, that's a different story. And we finish the shower at our time of our death. That's when you finish the shower. Because then there's no chance you're going to go back and mess yourself up again, right? At any other time, if you leave, you might mess yourself up again. That's just the way life works. So he says he quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. It actually happens even in this life. There are some of us who did some really bad things, stupid things we should not have done. And then, because we stayed fixed in our determination to become Krishna conscious like that, what happened was we started becoming righteous and started feeling peaceful, really peaceful internally. This actually happened. This has been proved by many, many devotees, by the way. Many devotees, uncountable number of devotees have proved this point. So, O son of Kunti declared boldly, my devotee never perishes. That's because Krishna's promise is there, that my devotee never perishes. So obviously, if his devotee is not going to perish, there's going to be no problem. It's going to come out. Okay, it's his guarantee. Then he says, O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they may be of lower birth, women, merchants, meaning Vaishyas, and Shudras, workers, they can also attain the supreme destination. So he is saying that why saying women, Vaishyas, and Shudras is because generally women are very emotional. It's their nature to be very emotional. And he's talking about, these are not devotee women, by the way, he's talking about those who are not his devotees. And merchants who are not his devotees, they just make money anyhow, scam anybody you like, just make the money, that type of thing. And workers, just show me the money, and after I get the money, I'll go and drink and be merry, like that. So even they can get the supreme destination if they follow this type of system and come to the shelter of Krishna. How nice that is. And then he says, how much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees and saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving devotional service to me. So how much better we're off, because we're trying to become devotees of Krishna like that. And then this is the statement that is the seed verse for the whole Bhagavad Gita. Just like a tree has a seed. You plant the seed, now the whole tree appears. So this is called the seed verse of the whole Bhagavad Gita. And so this verse says, Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam viveshasi yukvevam atmanam matparayana. This verse really is worth knowing. He says, engage your mind always in thinking of me. See, just thinking. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. So everything we do, if you attach it to Krishna, you're thinking about Krishna because you're attaching it to Krishna. Whatever you do, no matter what you're doing, just keep attaching it to Krishna. You will see it really works. It really, really works. Become my devotee. Well, obviously you become his devotee. You're always thinking of Krishna. Offer obeisances to me, which means, show me some respect. Krishna is doing so much for us. Show some respect. Pay obeisances. Don't just, stand in front of Krishna like you're equal to him or you're his boss. Pay obeisance. Put your head down. There was one devotee, a very powerful devotee of Prabhupada, disciple of Prabhupada. He said, Prabhupada, everybody pays obeisances, but I don't feel like it, He was an American person, very nice boy. And so Prabhupada said, no, you do it, and then you'll feel like it. Don't worry, you do it, and you'll feel like it. So he said, okay, I'll do it, because you asked me to do it, I'll do it. So he did it. After a while, he came back to Prabhupada and said, I love doing this. I'm getting very good feelings in my heart that I'm doing this. He said, Prabhupada said, yes, it's natural. It's natural to offer your obeisances to a great person. Krishna is the greatest. We do that in India a lot of times, right? We touch people's feet. We bow down, touch their feet. Or someone just bow down like that to say that, we're offering respect like that. So Krishna is saying, bow down like that, offer obeisances to me and worship me. What does worship mean? Worship has different types of meanings. One way to worship is to do arti. But worship really means you really love the person and everything about that person is great. Like they say, a boy fell in love with a girl, he started worshipping the girl. And not only, he sits, in Hindi movies, they sing some really nice songs. And so there's one song, this boy is singing to the girl. He says, I love you so much. Not only you are worshipable to me, but even the dog in your village is worshipable to me. We know in the village, the dog is not very considered very high being. Everybody throws sticks and stones at him, so it'll go away, like that. But even that dog is worshipable. See, like that. And Lord Shiva actually says that those who worship Krishna are great, but those who worship the devotees of Krishna are the best. Like that. Krishna loves it when he sees that my devotee is being worshipped, because he knows he is being worshipped directly by that person, because Krishna says, those who think they are my devotee are not my devotee, but those who think that they're the devotee of my devotee are my real devotees. Like that. So being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me, he says. Surely, he says. Because you're completely absorbed in me, surely you'll come to Krishna. Because you don't have any other interest but to be with Krishna, because you want the best of the best of the best. Like that. So this is how he ends chapter 9. So concluding verse. First verse he says, don't be envious of me. Just give me your heart and soul completely. In the last verse, he says the same thing again, in different words. And so this verse is called the Paribhasya Sutra. Paribhasya Sutra of the Bhagavad Gita. So that means that from this verse, the whole 700 verses came, all the 700 verses came. So one should know this verse. This is chapter 9, text 34, the final verse of chapter 9. So I'm going to stop here and ask if you have any questions you'd like to ask or say anything. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I would like to thank on behalf of everybody. Today's class was amazing and the voice was clear. There was a little static, but overall it was amazing. Thank you so much.
I think some the book caused the static, probably.
Yeah, but overall it was amazing. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And I'm sure everybody agrees with me. There's a question from Ashesha Prabhu from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Ashesha Gaurahari, very famous.
Yes. This devotee is from Iran, one of the exemplary
yes.
from Iran. You have to talk to him to know about him, and then you will love him.
Yes.
So,
how many Muslims become devotees, So when these Muslims, the one thing about Muslims, Islamic people, is that they are very, very determined, When they worship God, they're really determined.
Yeah.
So I can imagine when they take to Krishna, they're also very determined. I know him personally. I know him to be a very amazing personality, a fantastic devotee, worshipable in every way, So I'm honored that he's listening to this class.
in fact, I would like to ask him, if possible, if he wants to ask the question directly so we can hear his voice.
Yeah, that would be very nice. He's got a very nice voice. Very handsome boy, very handsome boy. Nice voice. Yeah, go ahead, please.
You can turn on your video also, Prabhu, if you want. Welcome. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, we did not give him much time to prepare. So let me ask the question, Prabhuji.
Sure.
Later. Thanks for the class. Yesterday you mentioned true love is not for beauty, money, knowledge, austerity, etc.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, what is the source of attraction for true love if none of the different qualities of the person is a reason to love?
Right. So what is the quality that actually brings about true love, right? So this is a very good question. This is an amazingly excellent question, because it's not an easy question to answer, but there is an answer. And the answer comes from Krishna himself. So he says that true love develops in the heart of a person when that person's heart becomes somehow soft. It becomes soft, then the seed of true love can sit in there and sprout. So what makes the heart soft, he says, is when people become favorable to my devotees. It makes the heart soft. Because I love my children so much. If somebody does something for my children, and my devotees are very close to me as children, then I become very indebted to that person. And so, because I'm sitting in the heart as Paramatma, as the super soul, I make the heart soft, and then the thing sprouts, the seed sprouts into and then you will have true love. And what does true love mean? True love means that you will benefit the other person, you will do things for that other person's benefit with no expectation of any credit or anything in return like that. You see? So this is actually true love, like that. So, so what is the qualification? The qualification of true love is that our hearts become soft. Has nothing to do with the other party, by the way. Has to do with you, yourself. Doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. Has to do with you. When your heart becomes soft, then now you'll start feeling inclined towards being good to others, nice to others, do something of great value. Then Krishna, what he will do is, he will choose a person who can be really close to you as a spiritually close person to you. But if you look at it from the material angle, he will empower a very important personality. That important personality's name is Kamadev. So then Kamadev will actually make you attracted to a certain person. And when you see that person, because Kamadev's arrows will pierce both sides, both hearts, they will come close to one another like that. So it's really out of our control if you think about it. It's not in our control as well at all. Something that is in our control, though, is the fact that we can love devotees and we can serve devotees and be nice to devotees. Like that. Any devotee, by the way, not just those in the Hare Krishna movement, any devotee, and not even just the initiated devotees. A devotee means that that person is loving God. The person loves God. So that's why I tell people, okay, you don't believe in Krishna, that's fine. You don't believe in this person, that person. But in chapter 8, it says, no matter who you worship, if you say God, it means Krishna. So, so Krishna accepts it. It says he knows that you've not really understood it properly. Just like sometimes children do not understand something properly. And so they will ascribe the reality to something else. So the parent knows what the child wants. And then the parent fulfills the desire of that child like that nicely. So this is the process. Somehow we serve other people nicely. And if that person by accident, meaning that you didn't know, but that person somehow has some attraction for God, accepts God, then you just hit the jackpot. So then love will develop in the heart like that. And then that love will manifest in different ways. Love for the holy name, love for Krishna, love for prasadam, love for chanting, love for kirtan, love for going to the dham, love for spiritual master, love for devotees, love for so many different ways. The love will come. Pure love will come.
Prabhuji, here is Ashesha Gaur Hari Prabhu. Ashesha Gaur Prabhu, welcome.
Krishna. Like I said, now everybody can see how handsome he is. He's the polar opposite of me. I'm not nice looking. He's very nice looking. So nice, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're happy with the answer. Thank you so much. You want to share something with all of us?
Thank you for keeping us engaged in hearing Krishna Katha in this kind of a special time.
Right.
Thank you. Thanks for your association. Hari Bol.
Thank you.
So the next question is, Prabhuji, Samba Shivara Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, can you please repeat the 2 types of mode of goodness?
Oh, very nice. Very nice. So Samba Shiva Prabhu, again, another very great person I've come to know. Very amazing person. He looks after the cows so nicely. You know, nobody loves the cows more than Krishna. And, you know, so whenever somebody looks after cows, that person becomes very worshipable. And Samba Shiva Prabhu is one of those persons, you know, he does that. And I thank him unlimitedly for doing that. I've been on his farm a number of times, taken others there, and they all love him very much, and they love the cows so much too. Beautiful cows, beautiful names they have, very, very nice, beautiful cows. So anyway, so the 2 types of mode of goodness is called sattva and shuddha sattva. Sattva means the mode of goodness. Shuddha sattva means the mode of pure goodness. So in this world, the material world, there are 3 modes like that. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Shuddha sattva, rajagun, and tamagun like that. Rajasattva and tamasattva like that. So tamagun, rajagun, and shuddha.
You can go put it off.
You know, 3 modes, right? So then on the spiritual side, transcendental to these 3 modes is called Shuddha Sattva. So there, what happens is because it's pure goodness, it creates much more powerful results. So if you do things in the mode of goodness, things will work best. If you do it in the mode of passion, it'll do less than that. If you do it in the mode of ignorance, it'll do less than that. So again, just like, say, for example, imagine there's $1 million, $1 billion, and $1 trillion. $1 million will do a lot, mode of ignorance. $1 billion will do a lot, mode of passion. $1 trillion will do even much more, right? So mode of goodness. But beyond mode of goodness is mode of pure goodness. And mode of pure goodness will give you $1 trillion that is cannot be cannot be reduced in any way. It remains, no matter how much you do, you still have $1 trillion like that. So it's the one that sustains. So it's a sustainable benefit. And it actually not only sustainable, it is also going to expand. So the trillion will become quadrillion and pentillion and, like that, quintillion, like that. So many, it just goes bigger and bigger, nantillion, like that, octillion, like that. So basically it just keeps growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is the value of Shuddha Sattva. So what do you have to do to make Shuddha Sattva happen? So what you have to do to make Shuddha Sattva happen is to give your heart to Krishna with full love and devotion, like that. Just say, Krishna, I belong to you and you belong to me. I am yours, Krishna, and you are mine. That means full contact love is there now, because if Krishna is mine, then everything I'm going to do to make sure that Krishna is happy. And if I am Krishna's, then I will think to myself that I should make sure that every time I think of Krishna, because I'm his, you see what I'm saying? And he is mine means I should always take care of him. We're not looking for anything from Krishna. We're looking to give Krishna. That is pure goodness. If we're looking for something, then we're in the other modes. Now he will give us because he's a very powerful person. Obviously he will give us. We're not that proud that we're not going to take from Krishna, but we're not expecting Krishna to give anything. That's not why we love him. We're not loving, that's business. Business means I do something for you, expecting you will do something for me. That's business. Love means I did something for you, whether or not you do something for me is no problem, makes no difference. That's love. So that's the type of relationship we have with Krishna, then pure goodness will come. And pure goodness, when it comes, it will create amazing results. Miracles will happen. Real miracles will happen in your life. And of course, in your life, it has already started happening because you're taking care of his beloved cows. So obviously, he really loves anybody who looks after his cows. Krishna becomes very happy. And that is pure goodness stuff, by the way. Taking care of cows is pure goodness. That's Shuddha Sattva.
Here is Samba Shivarao Prabhuji.
You also name people. This is Samba Shiva. Okay, this is a different Samba Shiva. How are you, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. Someone with your same name, I thought it was him. But anyway, I'm sure you're a very nice person too. But he actually looks after cows. What do you do, Prabhuji? What is your...
One second, Prabhuji, 1 second.
This is Samba Shiva? It says Bhakta Manish.
Yes.
But yes, go ahead, Prabhu.
He's not mute. Now he's on unmute. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I work in the IT industry.
Nice.
From Atlanta.
Oh, you're from Atlanta. Congratulations. Wonderful. Nice place, Atlanta. I visited a number of times. There's a temple there in Atlanta. I don't know if you ever been.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm on the board of directors in that temple. So I'm one of the board of directors. So that was very close to my heart. Thank you very much. Nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, another question?
Yes, Prabhuji. There is one comment from Vinu Adhiramaji. Superb, lovely. That's a nice comment.
Yeah.
Hare Prabhu and Nandar Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavas. Thanks for taking time to shower Bhagavad Gita nectar on fallen souls like us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're not full, for sure. Anyway, go ahead, yes.
Vijaya Vrinda Devi Mataji from Kopal. Hare Krishna, thank you for wonderful Bhagavad Gita classes of summarization of 9th chapter.
Thank you.
Folded hands. Sri Ram Balasubramanian. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm called as Sri Ram. Thanks for the class. My question is how to verify our spiritual progress. How 1 second, Prabhuji.
How to what? Sorry again?
1 second, huh?
Yes.
1 second, Prabhuji. Material issues. How to, my question is how to verify our spiritual progress, how to improve ourselves in Krishna consciousness, how to improve our taste towards Krishna.
Nice. We're all nice questions. How to verify? So verification, Prabhupada said, is by happiness.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We have some more questions, and it's 9:30, so I just wanted to give you some time,
Sure.
idea. Thank
Sure.
you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So anyway, so basically, your happiness is your best verifier. Prabhupada said, if you're happy, that means you're a devotee. If you're not happy, then there's obviously a problem. But of course, others can also verify and say that, they feel happy being around you, this, that, and the other. So how to progress? The progressing is by keep praying to Krishna, please bless me with devotion, because if Krishna blesses, then our devotion increases very quickly. And similarly, if devotees bless, so we ask devotees for that blessing as well. And this is the fastest way to progress. And then of course you do the things like associating devotees, read Prabhupada's books, read books, chant Hare Krishna, eat prasadam, dance in front of the deity, encourage others to do the same, that type of stuff. This will all allow us to progress very quickly. Okay, and then the next question, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, one question. This
Hi,
Chandra.
Hi, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, in this 9th chapter, you were saying like Krishna says, we are all in him. We are all within his body, what you call it as. But he also says like he's also within the super soul.
He is within the super soul. Krishna is within the super soul.
No, he's a super soul also. He says, in some other chapter.
So the super soul is within us, right? Yeah. Thank you, Chandramohan Prabhu. Another wonderful, amazing devotee, Chandramohan Prabhu. So basically, he's saying that we are within him, but he's not within us. Meaning, when we are within him, it's like how a subset is within a superset, right? But the superset is not within the subset. It's over larger than the subset, like that. But then he says that he is there as super soul within us. So super soul is a part of Krishna. It's described, in fact, variously that Brahman is 1/3 part of Krishna, super soul is 2/3 part of Krishna, and his actual form is 3/3, complete understanding of Krishna. This is in terms of understanding, it's given like that. So super soul is one of his expansions, one of his energies that comes into us. But the super soul is not complete Krishna. He is an expansion of Krishna. And for us, when you become devotees, then actually Krishna comes inside the devotee. He actually comes inside the devotee. He doesn't speak about this in the Bhagavad Gita so much. But in fact, he does say it in the Bhagavad Gita that, for one who is always thinking about me, I am in him and he is in me, like that. But the point is that when the devotee's heart, when a person becomes devotee really nicely, the devotee's heart expands, the whole total creation, and everyone in that creation, both material and spiritual, come inside the heart of a devotee. That's how big the heart becomes from a spatial point of view, not physical point of view, but spatial point of view. And so, obviously, at that time, Krishna is also in the heart of the devotee as Krishna, not just as super soul like that. And that's the Acharyas described that when that happens, then the super soul becomes Krishna, the spiritual master, and all the associates of Krishna and the spiritual master are sitting inside your heart as Paramatma. So that's why we should become pure devotees of Krishna, 100% dedicated to Krishna, because then that'll happen. That way, all of the various forms of Krishna, the various incarnations of Krishna, etc., all come inside our heart, because they're associates of Krishna, like that. And they're Krishna themselves, but playing different roles, like that. Thank you.
But when they say Tattva Darshan, what is the meaning of that, Prabhu? Tattva Darshan?
Tattva means the energy of the Lord. There are different tattvas, like we said, the Shuddha tattva and what do you call Shuddha sattva tattva, like that. Sattva gun and Shuddha sattva gun, like that. So tattva simply means energy. Tattva doesn't always mean complete. Tattva can be an energy, but the thing is with Krishna is that any of his energies can do anything Krishna can do as a whole as well. but he is not wholly Krishna. I might give you an example like that. Like say, for example, you're the general manager of a big business, right? So as a general manager, you can do a lot in that business. You can do anything the owner can do, you can do as well. But still, you are not the owner. You get the idea? But you can do as much as the owner can do because the owner empowers you to do it. So you can do anything as well. But the point is, you're not the owner. You're still not the owner. The owner is considered to be a little greater than you are. So tattva means an energy of Krishna. Purna tattva means now it's Krishna complete. The tattva is complete, so that means everything is now there. And so that's Krishna. So that's why Krishna is called Purna Purushottam. Even Purushottam is not good enough. Purushottam means the greatest of Purushas. Uttama. Purush-Uttama. Purushottama. But Krishna is not just Purushottama, he is Purna Purushottama. Purna means complete. That's why this very famous verse is there on Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Adaya, Purnam Eva Vishishyate. So like that. So that statement is made because of this reason. Krishna is Purna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So Prabhuji, next question. Next actually is like a comment from Rama Mataji. Comment about the most confidential knowledge. The matters which are described in the 9th chapter deals with unalloyed, pure devotion and is called most confidential knowledge.
Wonderful.
One who is situated in the most confidential knowledge of Krishna is naturally transcendental,
Yes.
has no material pangs, although he is in the material world.
Right.
Soul's activities are the eternal activity of the soul in the spiritual kingdom are the most confidential part of spiritual knowledge.
Yes.
Rasumai Rama Devidasi. Thank you for the class.
Devotee, she's amazing. I know her personally also. Very amazing devotee. Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful. Absolutely correct. Everything you say is absolutely correct.
Jai, thank you so much. And our dear Rupanaga Prabhu has a question.
Yes.
I've requested him to turn on his video so everybody can see him and take his darshan.
Okay, nice.
The question is, regarding text 30 and 31, what is to be done if one is causing too much disturbance in the community? How are we to see that person as saintly?
Very good. So basically, if someone is committing a lot of disturbance in the community, that is not who this verse is referring to. This verse is referring to the person who will do something very abominable, but because the determination is fixed in Krishna consciousness, the whatever abominable thing that they did starts wearing away. It's a little like how a full oscillating fan starts becoming coming to a halt. That is who this thing is describing. He quickly becomes righteous. Quickly becomes righteous. So obviously, if the person continues to do the same thing over, that's not quickly becoming righteous. They'll slowly become righteous. So they might come to the point where they'll also become quickly righteous later on, and then you can say, okay, now they're properly situated. But if they are causing disturbance that continually like that, that's not good for that person. And the authorities should take some action to make the person understand that you can't do things like that. That's the wrong thing to do. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, if you allow me, I'll make one comment on this.
Sure, absolutely.
And which really helped me a lot. Thank you. His Holiness Jayaprataਪ Swami Guru Maharaj has mentioned to us repeatedly that if you see, you have to respect everybody, but sometimes you see people with 99% faults. That's how our mind thinks. We see faults first and we remember faults. So he was training us that you see one good thing in a devotee and respect him.
Right.
You don't have to look for the fault and disrespect any devotee, but find one good quality. And the fact that somebody is chanting Hare Krishna, that itself is one topmost quality to respect the devotees.
That is very good.
That was
very nice point.
From Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
So I have been listening on Jayanti's Mataji's phone most of the presentation. The audio is better on her phone, hence he's not able to turn on the video.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, we can't have darshan of you. It's our loss.
So there are no more questions, Prabhuji, but I just want to make one comment about 9th chapter, my personal comment.
Sure.
9th chapter has been always my favorite chapter. Somehow I have read this chapter many times. I have given few seminars on 9th chapter also to some doctors and some other people. That's how much I like 9th chapter. I highly recommend devotees who are on call. I'm sure most of them have read 9th chapter many times, but you have not read, please go to Srila Prabhupada's Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada's book, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Read 9th chapter, entire chapter. Purport of Srila Prabhupada is also amazing. We have to read word to word. Then you can understand the power of 9th chapter. And once somebody understands 9th chapter, you have Krishna with you.
Yes.
Krishna is with you, basically. You are easily convinced.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
I also wanted to say that tomorrow I have a meeting that may clash with this program. It's something, there's a mini crisis that's developed, and I must be in that meeting, you know. So if I'm not able to come on this call tomorrow, how will we do this?
What we can do, Prabhuji, so far we have covered nine chapters. So maybe if devotees like, we can do some kind of learning from each other, what they have learned. So we can continue this, regular classes.
Then I can hear it, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what I want to know from devotees, this is just my suggestion. What do you all think? Do you feel comfortable joining tomorrow? We can do some kirtan. Maybe we can do more rounds chanting. And if you like, we can also hear Srila Prabhupada lecture on 9th chapter, a little short lecture, and then we can discuss a little bit what we have learned so far.
I think that would be an excellent idea.
Very good. Very good.
Jai. So if everybody agrees, they can give thumbs up, and we'll do this tomorrow.
Yeah.
To give thumbs up on
for me.
Jai. Let's see everybody. Here we go.
There you go.
There are a lot of thumbs up in the picture. Yeah, you can see now.
Now you can see them. Yeah.
You can see His Grace Rupnagar Prabhu also.
Yeah. Now you can see them. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. So I know
Hare Krishna.
But if you can hop in any time, this classes will be on. You're most welcome to join any time to give your darshan. But otherwise, we'll continue with your blessings tomorrow also.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Dandavat Pranam. This is Tribhanga Krishnadas. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. Very nice. We really learned a lot. I have a small question or comment. Could you please elaborate on text 22 about Krishna talking about exclusive devotion? What does he exactly mean by exclusive devotion?
Yes. So basically what he is saying is that if we can have faith that simply by worshiping Krishna, simply by worshiping Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who is also Krishna himself, that all the best results that you can ever hope by doing any type of worship, any type of devotion will be achieved. So when it's exclusive devotion, it allows love to flourish. Just like, say, for example, if a boy falls in love with a girl, if he starts also showing that love to other girls, it's not going to work very well, you know. That love that he has for this girl will not be very powerful. It'll be weak. In fact, she may even feel that he's being unfaithful and things will not work out, you know. So exclusive devotion simply means that we ascribe all of our heart's desires, all of the results of our activities to actually Krishna alone, you know, like that. And of course, when you say Krishna, then it includes Krishna's associates and all that are included, because Krishna is never alone. He's always with his associates like that. But it's always in connection with Krishna. That's the idea. Always in connection with Krishna. So then that is exclusive devotion.
So, Prabhuji, this is in connection with the verse Sarva Dharmam Pritagya. Can we understand it in a similar way?
Yes, we can Exactly the same thing. Sarva dharman parityaja means give up all varieties of religion and simply repose all your affection in me, at my lotus feet. He says, mamekam sharaja, right, like that. So yes, that's what it means. Actually, dharman, before that, amazingly, the word dharma as love of God. So basically what he's saying is give up all varieties of love of God. Not me alone, because we have so many other varieties of love of God, right? He says give them all up. These are all the varieties of love of God. My devotion, according to this process that I just laid down in the Bhagavad Gita, because he makes that statement right at the end, right, in the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita, like that. So, that's basically where it all comes together for Arjuna. He understands that. Now I got it. Krishna. Because he was seeing the eye of the bird, right? He was seeing the eye of the bird. And now he knows Krishna is the eye of the bird. That's why I should not see the bird. I should not see the tree. Nice fruits on the tree. I should see only the eye of the bird. I should be Vyasatmukha Buddhi Ekeha Kurunandana. Completely fixed target, like that. That's excellent. Wonderful point.
I want to make one more comment. I am playing with the computer a little bit during the classes to make it more interactive so devotees can see each other, ask questions and all. So sometimes if you see some kind of screen, some interruption, please forgive me.
Okay, sure.
So everybody please turn on your videos if possible so we can take your darshan.
Nice. Wonderful.
So look at this background. I really love this background. Maybe devotees can come up with creative ideas to share their pictures. Here you go. I hope you all can see.
Right.
Ganpati Prabhu, his name. Ganpati Prabhu.
Nice.
So Prabhuji, whenever you're ready, we can do Narsimha prayers.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Nice to see you all. Really wonderful seeing you all. Wonderful, bright faces. The happy Haris. Yeah.
Nice to see you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I'm going to take a small video of all of you and inspire other devotees in our community. So please turn on your videos and chant enthusiastically.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Ladai. Hiranyakashi Purvaksha.
Hiranyakashi Purvaksha.
Kanakalaye.
Shilakanakalaye.
Narasimha Bhagato. Yato yato yami tato Narasimha.
Yato yami tato Narasimha.
Singha Hridaye Narasimha.
Narasimha Hridaye Narasimha.
Narasimhadim Saranam Prapade.
Narasimhadim Saranam Prapade.
Savakara Kamalavare. Adbhuta Singha. Salita Hiranyakashipu. Anubringa. Deshavadvita. Harirupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Isha Hare
Tava Karakamala
Buddha Shri Kashipu Anubringa Rupa Isha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Sita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Isha Hare
Keshavasita
Narahari Rupa
Jagadisha Hare
Hare
Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya
Jaya
Jagadisha
Jagadisha
Hare
Hare
Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya
Jaya Lakshmi
Lakshmi
Narasimha
Narasimha Jaya
Narasimhadev Jaya Lakshmi Narasimhadev Narasimhadev
Vigna Vinashaya Nrsimha Vigna Vinashaya Nrsimha Deva Jaya
Jaya Vigna Vinashadeya Narasimhadev Vigna Vinashadeya Narasimhadev
Jaya Hari Hara Hari Nara Hari Jaya
Jaya
Hari
Narahari Jaya Narahari
Jaya Saladhara Saladhara Jaya Saladhara Jaya
Jaya
Jayo Prahlad
Prahlad
Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj
Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Jaya
Jayo Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Jayo Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada
Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya
Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva
Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol
Jai Guru
Hari Bol Hari
Hari Bol Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Guru Hari Bol
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Guru Hari Bol
Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol
Kripasindhu Patitanam Pavane
कृपासिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद।
Gaur Bhagavad Ki Jai. Gaur Pramanand Hari
Hari Bol.
One small comment. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the class. I think your class was so ecstatic. We forget to go out to light a lamp at 9 p.m. My request to everybody is, if possible, if it's not too much trouble to you, please offer one lamp to Lord Krishna. If your DTs are closed, you can offer to a photo and keep it outside your house so that we can participate with India. This is Narendra Modi's Ji's request. And hopefully this brings auspiciousness and this corona stays away. And let us chant one time Hare Krishna for everybody worldwide. And please do this small exercise every day if possible. At least today for sure. If not, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
because ISKCON has participated very nicely in this campaign of lighting lamp. If you see videos and all, everybody has participated in this. So please kindly do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you all, Prabhus. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Thank you so much.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Chandra Babu, nice questions.
Yes.
Vrinda Mataji, Tribhanga Prabhu, Sudhir Prabhu,
Right.
Preeti
Right.
Mataji, Rajesh Prabhu, Rama Mataji, Achyuta Govinda Prabhu,
Nice.
Divya Mataji, Rama
Right.
Mataji. So many nice devotees.
Nice. Wonderful.
Ramsudata Prabhu,
Nice. Jai. Hare Krishna.
Narvada Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. You are really inspiring all of us with this dedication.
Thank you. You're inspiring all of us too. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Nityananda Prabhu ki jai.
Jai, Jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amsudata Prabhu. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, thank you for you.
Thank you.
to
Siddhartha Prabhu. Thank you.
Prabhuji, thank you. Always you encouraging devotee, Prabhu. Always I like that.
Me, I'm giving it.
I enjoy your lecture always.
Thank you. Thank you, bro.
Jai, Hari Bol.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you, thank you. Good night.
Good night. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It was a nice class. Thank you for the nice program in the morning.
Oh, yes. Thank you for your association. And let's keep doing it. Let's keep improving our services.
Sure, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for organizing. It's so nice.
Actually, I was going to tell everybody that I'm already overloaded with blessings and joy by getting this service. So I feel that if anybody says thanks to me, it's better I pass those thanks to all the participants who are.
Yeah, I know. But without you, didn't happen this.
But thank you so much, Babuji. Really appreciate all goes to Guru and Gauranga, all goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Say Hari Bol to your family, children, wife. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much.
Hari
Dandavat
Bol.
Prabhuji. Hari Bol. Gauranga.
Hare Krishna. Good
Gauranga.
night.
Good night, Babuji.